Hey, 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 what is going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another amazing and impactful episode of the True Health Ever podcast where we shall live our best life through the lens of holistic health. What happened?
I maybe
You
missed
left
one.
you left me hanging. I was like, through the lens of holistic health. There you
I'm a
go.
little rusty.
I'm Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and as usual, I have with me the curl-rific, the beautiful, the smiling, the health nerd herself. Please introduce yourself.
You just did. What's up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka the
The
Health Nerd, and yes, happy to be here on a Sunday afternoon. Sometimes the days blur. It is hot. I guess I know you usually talk about the weather. Sometimes it's hot. It's hot. That's all I got to say there.
It is hot, and I just got back from basketball, so my body is a little aching. I'm still standing though. I'm gonna get whatever residual steps I can get while in this podcast. Hey. But long story short, today we are getting into a topic we've already covered probably at least twice. Like we've covered diabetes intro with this guest. We've covered how sugar impacts your body. Not with this guest, that was with you. And now we're going to kind of bring those two together. And this guest also has a product that they've been working on, and they're going to showcase that to the world as well. So if you don't know, one of my good friends, JT, he has a little brother by the name of JD. Hey, JT, JD. So he joined the team earlier this year as an intern, bringing in his talents as a amazing scholarly reader. First of all, the man reads like crazy, but also a researcher and a writer joining the team. And what I loved is he brought his own passion, his own experience of I'm a diabetic and I want to help other diabetics. And we were like, okay, let's take this right from this, like the problem that you want to solve, the superpower or the experience that you have. How can we create a product that is authentically you and is helping other diabetics out there? And we think we accomplished that. Right?
Yep.
So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. All right, we're out.
I love it every time.
It is getting popping. JD, welcome to the party. Welcome. How you doing?
I'm good. That intro was very cute.
Hey, thank
you.
You know, we trying to improve every day, every week, brother JD.
I can tell. Oh, that was really good.
Yeah. All right. So before I let you do your intro, there's something that we were talking about prior that has nothing to do with this topic, but I just want to make sure I get it out. Podcast listeners, if you're listening, if you're listening, if you're watching, let me know if I'm allowed to eat and drink on this podcast. Right? Can I drink my harmless harvest?
Drinking is not an issue.
Okay.
But yes, what are your thoughts on eating during the podcast?
All right. What are the rules? And to be honest, I don't know if I'm 100% going to listen to you, but I do. I want to know your rules. Grandy, if you tell me, baby, don't you eat on that podcast, I will listen to Grandy. All right. But go ahead, put it in the comments. I know some people are watching live right now. You watch on replay. Let us know. Are y'all good with us eating healthy, amazing fruits and vegetables? Chia pudding.
And maybe it's like, we don't mind. We just want to know what you're eating.
Yeah, perfectly fine.
What are you eating today?
Drop the comments. Today, I won't be eating it because I don't know what y'all are okay with, and the queen already said I shouldn't be eating, so I'm gonna wait for this vote to come in. But we got our patented. What was that, JD?
I vote no.
You vote no, so we got 2 no's. So I'm losing on the podcast, y'all. I need some support, right? So go ahead and give me your votes. But right now it was strawberry, some coconut shavings, and of course beautiful chia pudding with what I believe to be pecans or walnuts.
Pecans.
Beautiful.
Good guess.
But to the guest at hand, JD, if you don't mind doing your own little personal journey on the characteristics or the pieces of your experience that you care for people to know, and then we definitely want to get into why you created D3M.
So yeah, I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes at the age of 8, and it was actually in the month of October, so right before Halloween. So that was not the most splendid holiday. being in third grade. But ever since then, so originally I had to take a lot of shots, like manual shots. It's a lot for an 8-year-old, but
Yeah.
technology has improved. I now have an insulin pump, so life has gotten easier. But so basically, I always had to take good care of my health, and there's been many scares, many hiccups. A lot of it just learning from what works for you, what works for me, and that's that's why I created D3M. That's honestly the answer right there. Is because I want to help people, I guess, someone not make my mistakes and just live a good, healthy lifestyle, complete with longevity, so you can complete your other goals that are not health and fitness related. And I think fitness does that.
Love it, love it. And for those that don't know, because this is, if you're listening, this is the debut of the D3M kind of product line and brand in itself. So can you break down what D3M stands for and what that acronym means? Like what you want that to carry over to other people as they support the brand, as they tell other people about the products that are coming out. What message do you want? So you go ahead and break down D3M.
For sure. Well, D3M is diabetes doesn't define me. So there's 3 Ds and there's 1 M. And what I really want people to carry out with this. So my mission is to not make you really healthy and active and fit for the sake of being healthy, active, and fit. It's so you can pursue other life goals you have. And and I think that is really the point of diabetes doesn't define me. So I may focus on my health more so than other people, but that's not who I am as a person. That's not my characteristics. It's not my interest per se. I mean, some people might like eating healthy and working out, like myself, but that doesn't mean I want to do that as a career. Like, so that is the main purpose. And I think another purpose is that I want it to be a community of people.
Mm.
So it'd be kind of cool to have diabetes doesn't define us at some point.
Mm.
But I think just a bunch of similar minded people pursuing the good through career, through family, through friends, and I think it can all start with just working on you in your fitness journey.
Mm.
I like what you said about like rather than being healthy for healthy's sake, but it helps you go out and pursue whatever you want to do in your life. Like that kind of reinforces what we've talked about before, where health really is like the foundation for everything else that you want to do. If you don't have that good health, it's hard to accomplish what you want to accomplish in
Yeah.
life. So I think that that's a really good, a way of looking at it, of like, hey, you need to be healthy so that you can go out and care for your family, pursue whatever career you want to pursue. Health is really like that prerequisite so that you can go out and make your splash into the world, or whatever that means to you.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do, and we're trying to do. So
Yeah.
So before we kind of dive into what diabetes is and kind of like the science behind some of the products that might come out, you mind giving a high level overview of what folks can expect from D3M? I know you already talked about like you want to grow it into a community, but I know we've been working on a very specific solution and kind of a support system for our folks. Do you mind breaking down just what we're going to start offering in the near future, and then we can go to breaking down the science on why we're offering those particular things?
yeah, so first and foremost, since I put a lot of emphasis on community, we're going to have a Facebook group for D3M, and that's going to be so you guys can answer questions. I mean, ask questions, and hopefully we can answer them. And anytime we'll answer a question, we will provide a link to the study that we're referencing. Like, this is not going to be my opinion. Every answer we will give will be scientific based. But so what we are offering, in addition to a community, is workout plans. So we have 3 workout plans that are tailor made for diabetics. And you might ask the question of, what does a diabetic have to work out more so or instead of a normal non-diabetic person? And I guess buy it and you'll see. But we have 3 now. We have one that is made for people who are not completely in shape, to possibly people with type 2 diabetes, people who maybe just got type 2 diabetes and are going to start their journey to try to reverse it. And so it's really a beginner program. And then we have one that is for more advanced, but it is at home. So yeah, the beginning and the at home and the advanced at home are for people who they don't have time to go to the gym, perhaps, or maybe because of COVID. Being a diabetic, COVID isn't very friendly at the moment, but people able to do what they can health and fitness related at home. And then the one I'm most familiar with, because I've actually done the workouts, is the ones you do at the gym, and that's the weightlifting. And that's the one I recommend most type 1 diabetics to join on. And we can get into the science of that a little later on. And then what we also offer is a recipe book. So one thing diabetics struggle with is definitely the food choices that we are sometimes limited to eat. That's not always, but we can't eat junk food every meal of the day. We might be able to reward ourselves, but most of the time we get to eat pretty bland food, not a lot of sugar. You know,
Listen, you can have some delicious food without sugar, right?
You can.
Come on, JD. We're gonna get you in the kitchen.
Well, that's why we have a recipe book. I guess now we do, because we have a recipe book. But before this recipe book, no, we did not have many fun foods.
There we go. I'll take that. So before we dive into the other aspects and the scientific aspects, Sinclair, can you give our health a disclaimer?
Let's give the disclaimer, right? We are just going through our experiences in our health journey, all three of us. So everything that we say is, again, based on our journey. Yes, we do our research. Everything that we provide to you is, like JD said, scientific based. But we are not experts. We are not doctors or medical experts. So please definitely go consult with any, medical professional before you, try any of these products or take any of the advice that we give you here.
Ding! Beautiful. So now that we covered that disclaimer, and thank you for the community for making sure that we do protect ourselves and saying that, let's go into the first graphic by showing how sugar and carbs are metabolized in the body. So if we can pull that up and just give y'all a visual, and for those that are just listening in, we'll talk through it nice and slow and give you the play-by-play on how sugar is impacting your body.
Oh, body by day? Is that what that was?
Sure.
We're gonna say, because that was good. Your body by day.
Come on, hey, all an accident. Okay, go ahead, Elfner, hit it.
All right. So, real quick before we kind of dive into a little bit more of why we created this product and some more science, I wanted to kind of give a very high-level overview of how sugar, and I put / carbs because in terms of your body, when you eat carbs, anything with carbs, it breaks it down into glucose. So sometimes when we say sugar, we think like white table sugar and that's it. But there are other things that metabolize into glucose from your body. So that's breads, your pastas, your rice, all that stuff. So when you consume your carbs, the sugar is broken down into glucose. That's kind of like the base. I think I don't know if I made this metaphor earlier, or the last time we talked about it. It's kind of like the Legos. Like when you take apart your big old castle or whatever, eventually you get down to like one Lego. So think of that as like a glucose molecule. So when you eat your carbs, your body breaks it down into a glucose molecules. Those glucose molecules then enter your bloodstream in the small intestine. After that, and this is in a healthy blood sugar response. We'll talk about where diabetes comes into this process afterwards. But what is supposed to happen is that once the glucose enters your bloodstream, that kind of triggers your pancreas to release insulin. Insulin is a hormone, and insulin's job is to take the glucose molecules and bring it to your cells, because that's how it actually utilizes it for energy. And then your cell uses some of the glucose immediately. If you have a lot of things going on in your body at any given point. So it will use some of it immediately. But once you're done, especially if you're just sitting on the couch, it's only going to be able to utilize so much, and then it's going to store the rest. And for a lot of folks, it does get stored as fat. Now, when we're talking about, again, this is like a healthy blood sugar response. When we're talking about diabetes, step 3 here, when you have type 1 diabetes, step 3 is where the issues kind of arise, is that once the glucose goes into your bloodstream, the pancreas is not as sufficient, or sometimes does not release the insulin to then go gather all of the glucose in your blood. So then you're left with glucose in your blood, and that's how you get high blood sugar. And then if you have type 2 diabetes, step 4 is kind of where the struggle starts to happen. That's when your body is able to produce the insulin, but the insulin is not quite very good at think of it like it's like trying to juggle all of these things. It's not very good at actually grabbing the glucose and bringing it to the cells. So that's again an overview of like the healthy blood sugar response, and then what happens when, or what causes diabetes between type 1 and type 2. There are other types, but those are kind of the most common.
There are so many other types. It's
Yeah.
crazy how many types there were. I think growing up, I only thought there was one or two, but then doing this project and doing research with JD, there's like 5, 6, 7, type 6, type 9.
Yeah,
It's like,
that was new to me.
yeah.
I didn't know that until we started doing this project.